Hey guys, what's up? This is Matt checking in with our Week 6 recap from the Champions War League. We matched up with Midwinters this time. Stars don't look close, but this was really close. Came down to the end. We had some bad luck at 11v10. Would have put it really close. We had a disconnection, believe it or not, which was base that ended up with 0 stars on it. So that would have made up a lot of that difference in the stars. And we ended up going only 2 of 6 on our 11v10 hits, and weren't able to get any 10v10s this war. Our Town Hall 9s did all right. You know, we kind of got it done. We were able to get things scouted for the 10s and use some nukes to make sure that happened, and make sure that happened early for them to have time to plan. It was a great war by Midwinters. I think they did a good job on 11v10s. I think they ended up clearing 4 of our 10s, and got their Town Hall 9 hits done really quickly, really efficient there. It's nice to watch these guys. They're good attackers. So I don't have any 10v10 hits to share, but I do have a couple of fun to watch Town Hall 9s that hopefully will be entertaining for you. This is Dave here. We kind of chatted about this, and leadership at Alchemy thought this was our favorite hit on our Town Hall 9s. We enjoyed this. So this is a very unconventional. We've got 4 Golem coming in. He's got a bowler CC, and he's got 3 jump spells. I think this attack was intended to kind of exploit this empty spot over here on this base, where it made it really easy to kind of funnel off this west side of the base, and he's able to get the east side funnel just well enough with a baby dragon and keeping it out of range of that air defense. So he gets everything funneled off over here, and his queen goes one way, and he gets his king down with, I think he puts his bowlers in over there also on that east side of the base. Yeah, and gets them all to funnel right in with those 2 jump spells, and kind of gets them to then meet back up together at the east side of the base. And he's got 2 Teslas there, and gets those down pretty quickly, and then he puts down his 3rd jump to connect everything together, his poisons for the defending CC and Archer Queen, and he's got a Rage. Has been down for keeping his queen raged up, and his bowlers got it in a lot of work, and he's still got Golem staying up with plenty of health on it. Everything's starting to get kind of landlocked in though now. It would have been nice if they would have taken this jump and gone back out and started targeting this wizard tower, but they don't. So he puts his hogs in, and he just had 10 hogs, but with that one giant bomb on the outside there, the bomb tower, and this wizard tower, he's not able to get through all of them with his hogs. He gets enough though, and loses all of his hogs right here after he gets down, just barely gets down that bomb tower. But he's still got this full health golem over here, doing some tanking for the last defense up. Bowlers get on it pretty quick. Queen goes to the outside, punches through that wall, and gets the cleanup done pretty quickly. So we thought this was a neat hit with 4 golems and 3 jumps. I don't see that very often, and it was just nice and entertaining there, Dave. So good hit, man, and welcome back. We've got Coda here on 17 on a pretty unique spread out base here. He's going to put down his queen up here and do a little queen walk to take advantage of there not being any air defenses on this side of the base. He has the Rager up early as she engages the defending BK, and he only has the 1 poison, and he wants to save that for the CC. He's got archers all around the base helping out with some funneling early on. His queen steps up, engages the defending queen, and this is comes really close. Has some balls there to hold the phase. Does a good job though. Now there's nothing engaging his queen, so those healers get her back up to full health, and he's going to bring his queen down to eventually get in here, get in range of the CC, get it lured out, get it triggered, and deal with it with his queen. And he's also hoping to get this air defense here eventually with her. So he ends up raging her up to help get through these point defenses that are targeting her and get quickly into the range of the CC, and also have the rage to deal with the CC. It ends up being a hound, so as soon as the hound pops out, he puts down his BK over here. He put down one test wall breaker and triggered that small bomb, but as soon as he did that, his BK kind of pathed out and was just right out of the range of this Expo, so he ends up with a wall breaker fail there and isn't able to get down this air defense here that he was hoping to get down. Gets the hound ground down with his queen, so his queen's going back on her heel though, and he starts his Lalo in, and he's only got his 3 hounds, but I don't think there are any SAMs on the side of the base is what it seemed like. I'm not sure where he had his SAM set up. We can watch the raid and see what happens there, but he's got all these hounds staying up, no problem. Had the one in the CC, and gets this Tesla farm to pop right about the time he put his loons down, so he's about to lose these back end loons a little bit quicker than I think he expected. There goes one SAM up there. There's a couple red bombs in the middle to help out with the wizard towers, and he's got a heal there to help his loons get the rest of the way through those wizard towers and get to the Teslas. And right as his hound and queen put down that last air defense, the hound pops, and so he's able to have those pups for cleanup and gets those loons pretty easily to path through those Teslas and get it down just fine. He's got plenty of cleanup troops that have been working, and he just holds on to one loon, swags it, and takes care of this base just fine. Not really that much of a swag, but hey, he held on to it. We'll give him credit. We got Afshin here coming in with a neat hit on this base. He's going to get pushed really deep into this base and is able to get 3 air defenses. I believe this was a fresh hit. He puts his his golems down on an external Tesla farm, which seemed a little bit. There's a couple places that it could have been, and I think he just kind of guessed correctly that he was going to get a lot of value coming in here. But his primary focus was getting down these air defenses because he's got his 2 hounds and 12 loons here, but he doesn't have any spells really to help with them. So he was going to be cutting really close if he didn't get it right on those Teslas, but he did get it right. So he also lost 2 bowlers on his funnel there. But he's got enough going in on the core where he can get 2 jumps to get everything into the core here and get to the defending archer queen, get the CC, gets his bowlers targeting and queen targeting these air defenses. So he's got his second air defense just goes down now. Defending queen is just now going down. He lost his king, but golems take this. I think it's the 7 tiles here that just barely will extend over there, and his golems took that jump and are tanking over there, helping out, and the queen ends up targeting that the 3rd air defense. Puts in his Lalo here, and he's fighting the sweeper, but he has this is pretty easy pathing when how these defenses were clumped together. So he ends up with all of his loons kind of pathing right into that Expo. Unfortunately, also pathing right into having to deal with that sweeper. But he's got a couple back end loons here that he's able to put on this Tesla and then take out one other defense that's up there that's ground targeting. So his loons are just fine, and then gets a little help there. Almost gets that hound pop for help with the cleanup. And there goes the mortar. So that's all the defenses. That's just cleanup. Always appreciate how Afshin analyzes Asim's bases completely differently than I would, and comes up with really creative ways to seemingly work towards Laloing a base. Uses his queen really efficiently. Here's Blackfish coming in with a little queen walk. He's going to walk this clockwise from about 3 o'clock. He's going to end up taking out this whole side of this base, and he kind of takes advantage that this base doesn't have air defenses set in deep enough to prevent an efficient queen walk. And this base has a lot of DPS here in the core, and he is able to keep his queen walk up without much trouble. Doesn't need a whole bunch of rages for it or anything like that. He does use 1 rage here to deal with the CC, and he's getting targeted by this Expo. And so while he's dealing with that, he go ahead and rages his queen up. At the same time, he puts in a pack of loons up there. He was hoping to get this cannon and then the wizard tower down behind it, but he got a red mine and prevented that from happening the way he had hoped. He gets some wall breakers in here. They start to target the wall he didn't want, but they end up targeting what he wanted, and he's able to put in a little hybrid here with his BK, that one golem and a bowler CC. The golem's almost dead, which is getting his BK targeted. Watch his queen is still going, and she's about to get in range of defending archer queen, and she is able to phase through that, get that down, and meanwhile in the core he's got raged up bowlers and BK and going through a heal, going through a jump spell, and he starts his hogs on the backside, kind of taking care of those defenses that are only splash, and then he's peppering in his hogs here, getting this last bit of this these Teslas down and getting these last point defenses, and it's kind of all of them are converging now in on this wizard tower and then on this expo. So he's got a whole mess of hogs up there in the core, taking out that last defense. Queen never went down, so his queen is still walking around without a problem, and he had 2 hogs in the bag that he could put down to help with the cleanup, so he was able to get through that trash ring without much trouble. That was a very good hit, Blackfish. And we're going to go down a little bit and watch, I think this is Leo on Caveman on another kind of interesting outside of the meta base. That was one thing I think Midwinters does really well, and intentionally does, is they employ a lot of kind of off-meta bases that make you have to think. You can't just kind of do the same old Go Hobo hits or Lalo hits. Got to think it out, look at what the base is giving you, and do your best to exploit it. So he looks at this and saw these expos over here. They're only level 2, and so he's kind of able to take advantage of not having much concern about his queen and putting in a queen walk here, even with these other point defenses. Smartly uses a minion there to get the last little hit point off of that archer tower, and gets his queen to kind of walk in through this gap. In the meantime, he's been kind of taking out these buildings that were just right out of the range, and essentially starting his cleanup early while he could. Just not wanting to worry about having to worry about running out of time later on. So his queen starts stepping up. She starts going down this little alleyway here that was between these expos and the rest of the base. She was able to encounter those Teslas one by one. Triggers out the CC, which ends up being a whole bunch of goblins and a baby dragon. Rages her up to deal with that. One thing when you have these CCs that have lots of single space troops, you just have to be careful to make sure you don't whiff on your poison spell. Because if you don't get that poison on those goblins, it makes a whole lot of trouble for your queen to have to, fire essentially 10 extra shots before she can engage the baby dragon. So the queen ends up kind of going back outside, not the direction he was hoping for, but gets his hybrid with his BK and bowlers in. And bowlers take a giant bomb to the face really early on, and one of them splits off, but he's got 4 of them are going to hop this wall, take the jump, get into the core, and not waste their time getting down this air defense. So he starts his Lalo. He has his 2 hounds, and I don't think he was expecting. Wasn't quite sure what he was doing with putting his hounds down like that. But one of them's just got a sliver of health, another one's full health, and his queen is still just walking on around. She kind of encountered a couple defenses one at a time, and the Lalo kept her up. He waits on this wizard tower on this back end to get engaged, and as soon as it is, he's got a poison spell he puts down to kill the defending queen, and he had some pups also there. So he ends up with a hound still up, some loons for those back end, those last point defenses, and now he's got just about, I think all of his bowlers end up living, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, queen all the way up on that crazy long walk, and just tons of cleanup. It was a good hit for an unconventional base. It was a good war. Midwinters did excellent. We just didn't have a lot of luck. It's easy to say that. It's kind of a cop out, but we had some really close 11v10 hits that just kind of just didn't break our way, you know. It's tough to lose a war like that, but we didn't have a bad performance, so it's not too frustrating. We actually enjoyed our war so much with Midwinters. We spun right afterwards, and we kind of randomly matched. So here we go. We're matching Midwinters again. I'll do a recap of this in a couple days, I imagine. We got a pretty big Town Hall 10 advantage, so you know, it is what it is. It's a random. It'll be fun. Gotta love when this kind of stuff happens. It's just a game, and it's fun when these things work out. You know, we can all get frustrated when our hits don't work, get frustrated when you lose, but yeah, this is a game, and this should be a lot of fun. So good luck to Midwinters, good game to Midwinters, and great is Alchemy. See you guys.